Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Total Explanation Special, another honest, if opinionated, game review segment on the internet. Please forgive me, but I'm still reviewing the works of Mr. Larry Stover, or Blaze Epic as he's called in the game publishing circles. I know he's probably seen this particular review by now, but I feel that I should still archive the following. Now, I know I was very lenient and apologetic in my views towards a difficult, but overall fair and straightforward game, but for this way of the Pixelated Fist, I must say, fuck this game. Damn it, Blaze, the combat in your games just keeps getting worse. I've played The Way of the Pixelated Fist for over 7 total hours, and I've come up with 3 good things to say about it. 1, the movement system is the perfect balance of realism and platforming, even interacting with other vertical walls and even third walls in the environments themselves. 2, the animations are so much better, actually fluid and yet quick at the same time. And 3, the soundtrack is really a step up too. That's it. 3 things that are really nice when the game is about platforming, and platforming only. So, to the rest of the game? Remember your first games where fighting was very simple, but actually very fun? Remember the game before this one where combat was pretty much do anything to the reds, keep the blues at a distance, and mash and mash and mash against the ones that looked like Sylvester Stallone going native? Well, now it's even worse. I don't know how this dev does it. With each game, the combat just keeps getting worse. Blaze struck pure gold with the combat in the first one. Punchy, easy to use, yet hard to master. Every enemy had a different style and moveset to take them down. Then the second one, where blocking was decided by a random generator, but you could still fight or just fly over their heads. The third game was, well, it was kinda bad. With the fighting style, I just iterated. But hey, it still had a blocking function. With this game, the keyboard and controller commands are fucked, and there's no way to change them. Also a downgrade from Jump Boxer, since you could at least choose the controller setup. With every game, the movement changes. In the latest 2, combat is mandatory. The first one was a joy to fight in. The second one was less fighting. You could actually avoid entire groups of enemies. And hey, in the last one, did I mention the blocking function? I know, it was halfway functional. Let me tell you what this game is. It's a nutshot simulator. No way to block it or avoid it. You can run away all you want, but sooner or later, the enemies will pin your sorry ass down with no blocking function and blitz you into the pavement. Then it really turned into nutshot sim when I found out the farthest reaching move in the game was the standard kick, and I started mashing more acorns than an August-bound produce salesman. I'm completely serious. It looks and feels like a kick in the balls anytime that you are fighting, and the last straw came when I got lost. Yeah, that's right. This balls-to-the-wall, ball-slapping, ball-a-palooza didn't even give me a hint. And you need those hints to get into the now hidden and partially locked challenge courses. So it's not just fighting that's bad, the navigation methods are almost non-existent. See, I seem to remember friendly NPCs in these games that would at least strike up conversations and tell you where to go or plot stuff.
Well, those were in earlier games.
Damn right they were in earlier games, and this constant downgrade in quality was fine as long as a sense of achievement and awesome gameplay was at stake. In every game from this developer so far, there's been the perfect balance of stuff to make me want to keep going. The gameplay, the movement system, the visuals, and the mood all played off of each other in the past, but no, not here. The insanely crap combat and confusing map design and stripping away of key features destroys the presence of the better qualities of this game. Which leads me to the plot. Game 1, your master's dead and them supernatural gangsters are trying to kill you. Game 2, you mysteriously come back to life and get these epic platforming skills. Game 3, you're a free runner in China and start hallucinating that ancient Chinese martial artists are trying to kill you. In this game, you're part of some weird martial arts gang that is now testing all the free runners on the rooftops with Mortal Kombat style arena fighting and platforming challenges. Beat bosses and stuff to get hints once. Yeah, that's right, one single hint, which is actually easy to skip because of all the button mashing you need to do in order to survive. No, don't have the bosses repeat directions. This isn't a majorly confusing repetitive pain in the crotch or anything. Not to mention one boss that I fought and managed not to skip his dialogue said, "The door above me is now unlocked." It fucking what? There aren't any doors next to this guy, and there is no path leading directly up a few stories either. After mapping it out, my confusion was only compounded by the fact that there are 4 doors around him. 1 is practically over to the east, and the route to get there isn't exactly upward, and 3 are so far up and across the map you might as well have put a door directly above the boss arena just to save some time. And there was another boss arena that in fact did have that arrangement. So this dialogue is either in the wrong place, or the level design of 1 door to the east and all others being too far or tedious to get to is fucking retarded. If you, Blaze, as a developer do end up seeing this, do you know how to make games like this a little bit better? 1. A map or some system of navigating. Samurai_Jazz was sprawling and complex, but anyone with half a brain could navigate it because it made sense and it was plotted, seemingly, like real architecture. Shin Samurai Jazz and Jump Boxer got away with janky architecture because the puzzles and key hunting was usually confined to one area or a hub of some kind. 2. A block function that actually works. In the last 2 games, the block function doesn't even partially work for off hits and the characters have no split-second wind-up. This would be bad enough, but most of the enemy fight moves require you to press either up or down with the block button to work. Now I could understand up for high kicks and down for sweeps and grappling, but all kicks require you to press block and down, and all punches require you to press block and up. Well, at least the special moves don't require you to add an up or down modifier, but if there's not at least 2 or 3 frames of telegraphing animation for each attack, then any directional modifier is useless, and this one is unfair and sadistic to boot. See Nutshot Simulator quotes above. And 3. Friendly NPCs and defeated bosses that repeat dialogue or at least something interesting to say. I don't know, maybe have some vending NPCs selling drinks or t-shirts. Much of these simple NPC dialogue options have been seen in earlier games, and yet still, this retarded abortion of a nutshot sim has less to do with building a cohesive game and more to do about deciding how much of the virtual world will fuck you about on your way through the story. So 4, in short, have a map or navigation tricks, make some real fighting controls, and make believable NPCs that don't lie to you. Done. As for the players, if you want to know how to succeed, then here are my final tips. 1. Draw a map, or go to the guide section on Steam and look at mine, Pluggo, etc. Get on Microsoft Paint and draw a fucking map of screenshots, even if the geometry makes 0 sense. 2. Record all boss fights. The combat is mash heavy and the immediate text dumps are not a good way to communicate information that you can never access again. I finally beat this wannabe free-roaming Mortal Kombat in 2D, but only after 5 hours of playing, while I was mapping it out. After 1 hour of the previous 3 games, I was hooked. This beautifully animated mess just felt like another kick in the balls. Every time I got lost or saw more than one enemy on screen. Wham! 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 Look, I know I'm about a year or two too late, but how did you release this game in this state? I'm just going to spoil it here. The ending sucks. The gang of free-running Mortal Kombat enthusiasts put you in challenge courses and they test you with strange alien teleporter drones. And in the last lock zone, they boss rush you and are so impressed with your fighting style that they say you can join the club. Then everyone goes out for dinner, and the ending wasn't even worth it. It feels like Blaze was going for some kind of Mortal Kombat mythologies thing, and the ending wasn't even a real good mindfuck. After that boss rush, I was expecting it to turn out that you were joining some alien street gang, or it was all really a means of recruiting informants for the Men in Black or something. I'm just going to go with Dag joined some kind of rooftop fight club with black market technology. Sorry, Blaze, your product still needs a lot of work. Funny how the smaller in scope yet simple in design and attention to detail world of Underscore Jazz is still a better waste of time than this one. But still, Samurai Underscore Jazz, Shin Jazz, and Jump Boxer were all good in their own ways. Here's hoping for the next one, Blaze. As for this one,